Yo, I just made the best liquid warp effect on the whole internet, and this is how you can do it. To get this effect started, what you're gonna wanna do is roto brush out your subject. I just did that right here. Duplicate this bottom layer and add on this effect called twirl. Then you're going to keyframe the twirl radius, twirl center, and angle at the beginning, and then set the angle to about 170 and the twirl radius on 30. Then on this last frame right here, I'm going to set a keyframe for angle and twirl radius. I'm gonna have the angle do 2 full rotations, so something about like 215, say that, and then the twirl radius on 100. Then I'm going to go ahead and easy ease these frames and then just drag out the angle just like that a little bit. So it's going to start off looking something like this. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and drag on this effect called Sapphire Distort. It is a Sapphire plugin, and if you don't have Sapphire Distort, you can go ahead and use an effect called CC Blobalize, which is a built-in effect that we are going to use on top of Sapphire Distort. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the amount to something like 0.6, bring down the blur lens slightly. Once I set that keyframe at the beginning, about 2/3 of the way through, I'm just going to bring it to then a negative value, so something like that. And it'll look something like this. Pay attention to the background. So that's really cool. It's like it's part of the background and then it slowly just kind of morphs off of it. So just that by itself is a really trippy effect. I was literally just messing around with this effect today and I discovered this. Next, we're gonna go ahead and duplicate this layer and add on an effect called CC Blobalize. And at the beginning, I'm going to set a keyframe for softness and cutaway. At the beginning, I'm going to set it to about 80, something like that, and then about 1/3 of the way through I will have it come all the way back down like that, so it gives this really cool water effect. Go ahead and easy ease those keyframes, and then I'm going to keyframe it going back up so that it comes back down, and you're going to get something that looks like this. Next, I'm going to pre-compose all of those bottom layers underneath this roto brush. I'm going to add on an effect called Prism Displacement, and this right here is a Red Giant Universe effect, which is a paid plugin. However, there are other options that you can use if you want to create a crazy effect like this. I just gave you guys a pretty good base, so I think that you guys can go crazy with this. But this is what I want to do with it, so I'm going to go ahead and keyframe the glass refraction at 0 right around here, and then set another keyframe about right here, so that it looks something like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and easy ease those keyframes. The last editor that I caught not easy easing their keyframes, I gave a really good wedgie to. And so this is what the effect is gonna look like now so far. That's looking absolutely crazy. And we're not even done yet. So guess what? We're gonna go ahead and duplicate this layer again and then add on CC Blobalize again. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is set a cutaway and softness keyframe right here, put the cutaway all the way to 100 again, and then when the prism displacement comes in a bit, I'm going to set another keyframe, bringing the cutaway down. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. And then I'm gonna go ahead and easy ease those keyframes, and now it's gonna look something like this. I just did that in like 5 minutes. What the heck? That's absolutely bonkers. And I don't even use that word. But you know, because I am me, I am gonna add some more sauce to the bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and add something on that I like to call the Mosaic Splash from the Shockwave Distortion Pack from JamoVFX.com. This is what the effect looks like. I spent months designing this product. There's over 70 overlays of stuff that looks this saucy. And you don't have to change the blending mode. All you gotta do is drag it under your subject and boom. So obviously it doesn't blend well with the background. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag on this effect called Tritone onto this layer and then set the mid-tone to something like that color. And then I'm gonna go ahead and set the highlights to this darker blue right there. So now it is blending really well. But now I want to tie these background layers together. So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-comp everything. And I'm gonna mess with some Displacer Pro. So I'm gonna drag on Displacer Pro right here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is set a keyframe right around here for Translate Y at 0. And then as that warp kind of goes out from behind him, I'm going to drag it up like that. And that looks absolutely crazy. I'm going to then change the edge behavior to mirror repeat. And then as this effect kind of takes place, I'm going to bring down the translate Y to 0 right there. Then I'm just gonna mess with these keyframes a little bit, kind of just play with it until it feels really good to me.
What do you mean by that?
So next, to kind of bring those colors out when that shock goes behind him, I'm going to add some prism displacement again, set the glass refraction at 0 at the beginning, and then as that shockwave comes out, I'm just going to bring it up just a little bit so you can see those colors, and then as the shockwave goes out, I will bring it back down to 0. And then I'm going to add a glow. I'm going to use deep glow. So with this glow, I'm going to set a keyframe right here at 0, and then bring up the exposure right there, back down to 0 right there. Go ahead and easy ease, and you got something that looks like this. And now obviously he doesn't really blend with the background, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some edge rays onto him, and then go ahead and set that to kind of like a light blue. Right around here, I'm going to keyframe it at 0. As that glow comes up, I'm going to set the brightness to 2. As the glow goes down on the background, I'm going to bring it back down to 0 right there. And that looks absolutely crazy. It looks like an actual wave is coming up from behind him, and then it's like the waves are crashing back down. Like, that's actually crazy. I'm overdoing it a little bit, but that's okay. 'Cause I just want to show you guys some more options that you can do and how you can play with it in some creative ways. I don't want my tutorials to be really cookie cutter and like you have to do it this way. I want you guys, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced, to learn from my workflow and understand that literally anything is possible on a screen. And after adding some RSMB shakes and glows, this is what we got.